Corrode is out for only 1 week and it's already broken, man. Look at this clip.
Ja! Oh, ja! Die kommen auch noch hier hin. Ja,
Yup, well played, my friends. Wanna know how to use this trick and many other tricks that aren't bug abuse? Then definitely keep watching, because in this video I'll show you 50 Corrode tips and tricks. We're going over map mechanics, tactics, show you in-game footage, and it's all because of these legends. This video is only possible because you guys send it in so many tricks, and if you got cool Corrode trickies, don't forget to send them in the Lowlander Discord server, because every video I'm giving away a battle pass to a random trick submission, so you might be lucky next week. Now sit back, relax, and let's start with a simple tricky on B side. If you're playing deadlock on B and you've planted the spike, a nice trap you can place is over here on the wood. Why is this a nice spot? Well, my friends, if enemies are rotating from mid to side, the enemies walking behind the hut will get hit. There's like no way to destroy this ability, so it's a very nice trick to get some kills.
No surprise.
Okay, bro, like this map is
okay, what?
Okay, I lied by the way. There is a way to destroy this ability, because here's a thing you need to know about B side. Almost every wall on B is wall bangable. Some with only an Odin, but also some walls are penetratable with a Vandal. So what do you need for the hut? For the hut you need an Odin. Very useful if you play Cypher, for example. Place a tripwire in front of the hut and then go for wallbang kills from middle. But for these low walls on the side you can just use a Vandal, which creates a lot of post-plant opportunities from main. Also about the crate, you can't wallbang through it if you shoot like this. However, if you shoot on the part of the wall where the crate is standing against the wall, then you will be able to shoot through it. It's a pretty strange mechanic, but very good to know. This mechanic could be strong in combination with the smoke, because if you place a smoke on the hut, you create a one-way and easy peasy kills for you. Okay, while we're talking about Omen, this next tricky is for all the OG Flexinja fans out there. You're feeling a little risky? Then a cool thing you can do is place a smoke on the hut. After that, place a smoke in heaven and teleport your way into heaven like Flexinja did back in the day.
Go, go, go. Enemy B. One enemy.
Okay, enough about B side for now, let's go to A side. A pretty well known part of Corrode is this small window on A. A lot of clippies went viral because people used tricks from this wall. My TikTok feed was full with them, but in case you didn't saw them, here are a few things you can and can't do with this window. First, something you can do. If you place your wall on this box over here, you have a nice grim wall to look through the window into main, easy peasy kills. You can also do it the other way around, plant the spike in this corner, then go to main, let a teammate boost you on this box, and voila, you can look at the spike from the other side. You can peek through it with the jet ultimate.
Find you.
Abilities can go through, which makes for easy molly lineups.
Last player standing.
Even things like a deadlock ultimate can go through.
Reeling them in.
Nice.
Oh, look at that enemy hanging over there. I just saw 28 years later. It reminds me of that one scene in the church. Something that you can't do, however, is fly through it with a sofa drone. I mean, it kinda makes sense, but I wish they would update it, because I think it would be very satisfying if you could fly through it. Okay, let's take a closer look at the side now. A question to you. Are these walls wallbangable? The answer is yes, but they act a little strange. Here's what you have to know. First of all, if you have a Vandal, forget it, you can't wallbang. Buy a high penetrative gun if you want to go for a wallbang kills, for example an Odin or an Ares. But now the strange part. Do you see these lines over here? I don't know why, but these lines are made of super thick metal or something, because you can't wallbang on the lines. This might not sound that significant, however, this is very significant if you want to go for some wallbang kills, because if you plant the spike next to one of these lines, then if you go to main, you can't shoot on the spike anymore. So keep in mind, my friends, if you plant the spike on site and you want to go for a wallbang kill, plant the spike in front of the brick wall and not in front of the metal line. Another thing you need to do if you want to go for wallbang kills is not plant the spike in the middle of the site, but stand against the wall and look at it while you're planting. The reason, if you plant like this, the spike will actually be visible from the other side of the wall, and this makes it very easy to know where to shoot. Okay, while we're talking about wallbanging, this might be the craziest wallbang spot of the whole map. Just take a look at it and then I will explain. Yep, you can wallbang the enemies over here without the enemies having any counterplay. A pretty strong spot. And about middle, here's a tippy for if you want to hold mid with an operator. If you're planning to hold mid on the defender side, don't stand on the right side of middle. If you stand on the right, you'll be in the open, and that's not very good. Instead, if you stand on the left side of middle, you can either look through this small gap over here, or do one more step to the left and go for head glitch shots. So on the left you have way more cover, and that's the way to go. And this isn't the only head glitch spot on Corrode, by the way. Here are two more spots that you definitely definitely should be using. The first one is over here on B main, perfect to catch enemies if they try to go for an aggressive push. And the second one is over here on A main. I think Rito Games placed these snow piles on both sides on purpose to give the defenders a little more advantage. Sage walls. Just like on any map, on Corrode you can place down a lot of creative walls. And here are a few interesting ones. On B side you can place your wall on this wall to get a lot of height for if the enemies are entering. Got a kill or miss your shots, then simply jump down. And look at this, you have a small gap where you can see through. High chance that the enemies won't notice this gap when they push in.
I just got fucked over by that.
You can also create a cool gap if you place your wall diagonal into A main like this. Also here, no way that the enemies will expect the gap. Place your wall like this if you want to look into B over a smoke, or just want to get an height advantage on the enemy. And this one in front of A main is pretty cool if you notice that the enemies push a lot.
Riz, can you enter, please?
Bobber break, look at her sitting over there, she just wants attention I guess. Sorry Bobber, you have to wait. Mr. Lowlander is making a video. Also, notice the foam behind Bobber. It's very damaged because she likes to climb in it when I'm away. Bad Bobber, bad Bobber. Back to the tricks. We didn't really talk about glitches yet, so here's a cool glitch on the map. With Deadlock, there are some spots where you can use your ultimate through a wall towards the side. Sounds crazy, right? But look at this clip from Sharky. He stands in middle, does a little lineup, and shoots his ultimate, and it goes all the way to B side. Or over here, another lineup that he does, and his ultimate goes all the way to A side. Okay, look, pretty cool mechanics, and I can explain how the lineup works to you, but I'm pretty sure that this lineup will get patched very soon, and the lineup is extremely precise, not reliable at all, so I won't explain the lineup, but it's a pretty cool mechanic to show. Another glitch that the viewer found on Corrode is over here on B side. If you look into heaven, there's actually a small little gap where you can see through. Probably not very useful, but yeah, Corrode is by far not perfect yet. Back to the real tricks though, with the Viper tricky. On A side, try to find this tile, then use your Viper ultimate on the tile. Your Viper pit will go around the side and cover this part of the box. This is a very sneaky spot where you can chill in, and there's no way that an enemy will expect it. All you gotta do now is wait till the enemy is defusing the spike, and then use your molly through the window like we talked about before. Easy clutch. Next tricky, this one is about Phoenix. Before the barriers are going down, stand against this wall over here, then aim a little bit above the middle of the vines, and then when the barriers are going down, throw your molly. Why is this molly so good? Well, my friends, it will land behind this box over here, so if you combine it with the flash, there's a high chance that enemies will run to this box blinded, and then easy peasy kills for you, just like Tekri in this round. Takri, by the way, is always on fire with his Phoenix combos. Here's another one for B main this time. Stand on this tile, aim at the corner of the castle thingy. Again, enemies might walk right into your molly blinded. Okay, let's move on now. A thing you need to know about Corrode is that like almost every entrance on this map has a small ledge where you can throw abilities on. What does this mean? Well, a lot of one-way potential for Cypher. I won't show every lineup on this video because there are like a lot, but in the background you see some possibilities. It's like insane how many Cypher one-ways are possible on this map. I would say if you're a Cypher main, hop into a custom game and in like 5 minutes you can create lineups for all these one-ways. But there's one lineup that's a bit different than the other lineups, and this one I will show because I don't want you guys to fall for this one way. If you stand in this corner over here, you can aim at the middle of the ledge and throw your smoke. When you now activate your cage, this one way doesn't even look like a one way for the enemies. That's why if an enemy sees this, they might think, oh, he failed this one way, let's just push. However, my friends, even though it looks like a bad one way, it's actually a good one way, because if you stand in heaven, the enemies won't be able to see you, but you will be able to see the feet of the enemy. So if you're playing on the attacker side and you see this, don't get fooled by this one way. Okay, let's move on with some simple trickies now. With Cypher, if you place your teleporter in this corner, you can make your way to B main and go for an aggressive peek deep into main. You can do this tricky in an eco round, for example, if you want to take the orb, and then with this TP, after you got the orb, you can quickly peek into middle with your sniper. There's a counter if you notice that enemies are pushing B aggressively though, and that's this race tricky. When the barriers are going down, set your jump around this corner over the box, take a shotgun in your hand and easy peasy kill. Pineapples didn't use this trick only once, but they used it twice, easy peasy.
And that's about.
Next one is a Viper trick. If you stand on the hood and try to use your Viper ultimate on it, you might notice that it isn't possible. There is a workaround though, and that's if you use your Viper ultimate on the crates. However, if you use your ultimate on the crates, your ultimate will only cover this small part of the hood, so I wouldn't recommend to use this trick unless you find the lineup where it will cover the hood and the side. There's one problem with this lineup though, and that's that it's extremely hard to pull off. I've been looking at this clip from Silenzo for a while, tried to replicate it in exactly the same way, but I just couldn't pull it off, but I wanted to put it in this video anyway because it is possible. I personally just don't know how it's possible. Another tricky that I couldn't pull off myself is this deadlock boost. Again, I wanted to put it in the video because I know it's possible. I'm personally just suck at deadlock boosts because these boosts are also very precise, but it's still cool that it's possible, I guess. Also, remember the clip at the start? This is the lineup you need to do for deadlock to get that jet boost. I just hope that this one will get patched very soon. It's way too broken. Are these trickies too complicated for you? No worries. Here's a simple tricky, flash and push. Well played, Sidley.
Oh my god.
While we're here on A, here's another Yoru trick. If you stand against this box, then aim a little bit at the right of the left side of the arch, and after that use your gate crash. Now, while we're following this gate crash, you have the time to follow this channel. If you enjoyed the video, of course, I would really appreciate the support. And look at that, the Yoru gate crash will land into the attacker spawn. Nice one if you want to go for a lurk play. And this tricky was the last trick of the video. Again, big shout out to everyone who submitted in a trick. Also, congratulations to the Battle Pass winners. If you find any other Corrode tricks or tricks on other maps, don't forget to submit them in the Lowlander Discord server. You might win a Battle Pass in next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.